Good morning and welcome to the Windward Buddhist Temple's Remembrance Service. My name is Miles Yamamoto and I will be your MC for today. I'd like to offer a special welcome to Bishop Toshiyuki Umitani and Mrs. Umitani. Thank you for attending and for officiating today's service. We will begin with the ringing of the Kansho or temple bell that signifies the beginning of the temple service. It is a deep and sacred ritual steeped in ancient tradition. It is the calling of the people to come together to listen to the Dharma or teachings. The temple bell represents the gratitude and deep appreciation of the members, friends, and guests of the Windward Buddhist Temple. Please sit quietly in your seats. If you are able, please rise for the meditation followed by the chanting of the Vandana Ti-Sarana by the congregation in Pali and in English. This can be found in the red Jodo Shinshu Service book on page 7. Gacchami
Snabandov, 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 Snabandov.
Please be seated. Bishop Umitani will now lead us in the Sanbujo, which can be found in the red Jodo service book on page 9. We will now have the remembrance of those individuals who passed away in the month of October in any year. When the name of your loved one is read, please come forward to offer incense. Bishop Umitani will ring the bell once after each name is called. At the end of the remembrance ceremony, Bishop Umitani will ring the gong several times and lead us directly into the Sutra, 12 Homages, which can be found in the red Jodo Shinshu service book on page 120.
Fortunate are we who, upon having heard the divine truth and have been given everlasting life, may live this human existence in peace and tranquility, be surrounded in Amida's infinite wisdom and inconceivable compassion. We honor with deep gratitude the members, families, friends, and pets of the Windward Buddhist Temple who have passed away in the month of October of any year. With deepest gratitude to the boundless, inconceivable blessings of Amida Buddha, we take eternal refuge in the three treasures of this teaching. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Janet Hiramoto. Donna Yonomine. Wallace Sumikawa. Chisato Hope.
king, steadfast like the elephant's face, Buddha's eyes like the blue lotus. Thus I bow to Amida. Buddha's form round like the moon, bright like thousand suns and moons. Buddha's voice like the nightingale. Thus I bow to Amida. Buddha's finger Kanon's crown, adorned with wondrous features. Buddha's omniscience. Thus I bow to Amida. Beyond compare, Amida's pure virtue shining clear like space. All benefit from Buddha. Thus I bow to Amida. Bodhisattva Sorina. Maras to praise Amida. Primal bow made for our sake. Thus I bow to Amida. Golden ponds where lotus bloom, towers a throne of goodness. Buddha lives like the mountain king. Thus I bow to Amida. Bodhisattvas come apart, attaining true happiness. They revere the Buddha's face. Thus I bow to Amida. All life changes like the dew. We have no permanent self. Buddha teaches this law to all. Thus I bow to Amida. No evil in the pure and no fear of evil path. Faithful hearts on Buddha. Thus I bow to Amida. Saving us through many ways. No, there's no evil friends. Burst is to enlightenment. Thus I bow to Amida. Amida, thus I have praised. Virtues boundless like the sea. This virtue shared with others, for birth into the pure.
If you are able, please rise for the recitation Our Pledge, which will be projected on the screen, and then remain standing for the Gatha Ondokusan, Gratefulness, which will also be on the screen. Reaching out to others, I will share smile and gentle words, just like the Buddha who always calls out with love. Breaking away from my greed, anger, and ignorance, I will try to live in peace and harmony, just like the Buddha who shares tranquility and kindness with all. Moving forward from self-centeredness, I will share a life of joy and sorrow with others, just like the Buddha whose caring heart always embraces us. Realizing that I live because of others, I will strive to live life to the fullest with an attitude of gratitude, just like the Buddha who promises to embrace us all. Namo. Please be seated. Our Dharma message will be presented by Bishop Umitani.
Okay, shall we place our hands together in Kansho? Our hard to encounter, even in many lifetimes, is the decisive cause of birth, Amida's universal vow. Hard to realize, even in myriads of kalpas, is pure Shinjin, that is true and real. If you should come to realize this practice and Shinjin, rejoice at the conditions from the distant past that have brought it about. Holy sincere indeed are the words of truth, that one is grasped, never to be abandoned. The right Dharma, all surpassing and wondrous. Hear and reflect, and let there be no wavering or apprehension. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Hi, ohayou gozaimasu. Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to be back here, always. Thank you very much for your kind invitation. So today, we are observing the monthly Remembrance Service and remembering those who passed away before us, our loved ones, our friends, our Dharma friends, and express our appreciation and gratitude for their guidance and contribution. It is often said that life is a series of encounters and farewells. Indeed, throughout our lives, we meet many people, go through many experiences, create countless memories, and inevitably face many partings as well. And when we reflect on these encounters and farewells, we find that encounters are usually accompanied by joy and are easy to accept, while farewells are often surrounded by sorrow and sadness and most often difficult to embrace. We tend to view encounters or meetings as something acceptable, positive, and meaningful, and farewells as something not so acceptable, or maybe negative or meaningless. But is that really true? If an encounter is something special, then shouldn't a farewell also be something special? Of course, I'm not saying that we rejoice when someone passed away. Rather, if an encounter has meaning, then Buddhism teaches us that there's a meaning in the farewell as well. Buddhism does not see life as something wonderful, while death is seen as defeat. If living is wonderful, then dying too is a sacred and meaningful part of our existence. In this way, the passing of a loved one is not merely an end marked by sadness, but the beginning of a new kind of encounter, beginning of a new interaction with the universe. Through such experiences, we are gently guided to the working of Amida's boundless compassion that is embracing all of our sorrow, joy, and pain alike. In this realization, we come to see that both encounters and farewells that we experience throughout our lives are all wonderful opportunities for us to awaken to the embrace of the Buddha, Amida's wisdom and compassion. So in the midst of such encounters and farewells, Buddhism invites us to listen deeply, to hear the story that lies behind our lives. Shinran Shonin wrote, and I quoted at the beginning of my message, he said, hard to encounter, even in many lifetimes, is the decisive cause of birth, Amida's universal vow. Notice that Shinran Shonin did not say hard to encounter is the Nembutsu, but rather hard to encounter is Amida's universal vow. Well, we often speak of encountering the Nembutsu teaching, but Shinran Shonin points deeper. What he encountered was Amida's vow itself. Then, what is Amida's vow? The larger sutra describes the Buddha's boundless aspiration for all beings. Out of great compassion for those who cannot attain enlightenment on our own, Amida Buddha vowed, and I quote, "If the sentient beings of the 10 quarters, with sincere and entrusting heart, aspire to be born in my land and say my name even 10 times, should not be born there, may I not attain the perfect enlightenment." This vow, so-called the 18th vow, is, well, in a simple language, it's like a parent's unconditional love, promising, like, I will do my best to make you happy, otherwise I will not become a parent. So Buddha is saying, I will ensure that you will be born in the Purant, otherwise I will not become a Buddha. From such love and commitment to those who cry in the reality of life arises the Nembutsu. So when Shinran Shonin exclaimed, hard to encounter is Amida's vow, Amida's universal aspiration, then at that time he was reflecting on the stories that lies behind the Nembutsu. Behind the simple words that we recite, Namo Amida Butsu, lies Amida's deep aspiration and compassion. Shinran Shonin did not simply tell us to recite the Nembutsu mindlessly or blindly. He urged us to listen to the story of the vow, which is hidden within the Nembutsu. An awakening in that story filled Shinran Shonin with deep joy and gratitude. And what comes out of such gratitude and joy is the Nembutsu. As an example, I'd like to share my recent experience. As you may know, as some of you may know, I have 2 daughters, and both of them are college students now. And last month, my younger daughter, she started her college life in Tokyo, Japan. So last month, my wife and I went to Tokyo to help our daughters to settle in her new environment. Well, she is having good time now in Tokyo, being away from parents. Well, I'm sure she's very, very happy. But anyhow, the last 18 years or so, our life, my life, is always with my children. And now my daughters are all, living separately. And as a father, I'm so proud of them. But at the same time, I feel, well, people often say empty nest. Yeah, the house is indeed, I feel like an empty nest. When we were, living together, we often say, tadaima or okaeri in Japanese, which means tadaima is I'm back, okaeri is welcome home. So whenever we come home, we say tadaima, and then whoever in the house says okaeri and greet. We greet each other. And so now only it's my wife and I, at home. And of course, we exchange words. We are, but we say okaeri or tadaima still, of course. But I guess kind of different. When I listened to my daughters saying like tadaima, I could kind of, when I'm at home, I could kind of feel, kind of sense the how can I say, their situation, their feelings somehow, when they say tadaima, maybe I can kind of sense that something, sad must have happened. On the other hand, if she says tadaima, or maybe I could tell that she had a good time maybe at that, at school today. So this tadaima or okaeri, it's the simple exchange of words, but behind it, behind this exchange of words, there's a story. There's always a story, and then as we understand the story behind it, then how can I say, these words of tadaima and okaeri have deeper meaning, So reflecting on the stories behind these words brings deep joy and appreciation. And those words carry stories, right? Stories of love, stories of ohana, stories of compassion. And out of these stories of love, care, and compassion comes out the words, tadaima or okaeri. So these words unite us and bring us closer together as family. So in the same manner, the Nembutsu is not a mantra or mindless phrase. It is the crystallization of the Buddha's deep aspiration, the Buddha's commitment to embrace all beings, regardless of our differences, limitations, or even our self-centeredness. For someone like myself, an ordinary foolish being, a bonbu, Amida's light of wisdom and compassion is always shining. Though it is difficult to encounter, though it is difficult to listen to, today I was able to meet it through countless causes and conditions. When I think about this wonderful gift of the Nembutsu and a story behind it, my heart overflows with the same joy and comfort that Shinran Shonin expressed. So when we say Namo Amida Butsu, we awaken to the Buddha's aspiration. In that sense, the Nembutsu we recite today is the very same Nembutsu that your parents, grandparents, and countless others have recited here at the Windward Buddhist Temple. Their voices and ours are both embraced by the same compassion. And when we look carefully, we find many stories behind what we have today. The histories of the Honpa Hongwanji Mission of Hawaii and the Windward Buddhist Temple are all collections of such stories. Stories of the people who gathered at this wonderful place. I'm sure each of you has your own story. Your story of attending Sunday service with your family. Your story of enjoying temple activities. Your story of finding a new ohana, a new family here at the temple. Your story of quietly reciting the Nembutsu in the Hondo. Each story becomes a chapter in the living book of Jodo Shinshu in Hawaii. So the Hongwanji is the temple where the Buddha's aspiration prevails. When we enter in this Hondo, this Buddha's feeling, Buddha's compassionate heart prevails throughout the building. In our own recitation of Namo Amida Butsu, we affirm that we are never alone. we connect with those who have gone before us and with the Buddha's timeless vow, timeless aspiration. This is the heart of the Hongwanji, and this is what unites us. When we come to this temple, we meet the Buddha. Just as those before us delighted in the Nembutsu, we too can rejoice in the Nembutsu. So as we recite the Nembutsu together today, let us remember the stories of our loved ones and listen to the deeper story within Namo Amida Butsu, the story of Amida's boundless aspiration that never abandons us. And in closing, I'd like to quote a message from Reverend Kenryu Tsuji. So please place your hands together in Gassho. The Nembutsu is the complete identification of myself with the transcendent power of wisdom and compassion from which I derive my meaning for existence. The Nembutsu is the center of my being, the spiritual home from which I operate and where I find the spiritual power to carry out all my moral, social, and religious commitments. It is the barbarization of my inner awakening to the reality of life and the world. It is the sound of the infinite touching the finite. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you.
Thank you, Bishop, for that message and for reminding us that the Nembutsu is a deeper meaning and the connection that we all share because of it. If you are able, please rise for the Gatha Quest of Life, which can be found on page 164 of the Purple Praises of the Buddha book, and continue to stand for the Nembutsu, which can be found on page 145 of the same.
Snabandov, 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 Snabandov.
Please be seated. Thank you for attending today's service. We will now have announcements with Prudence.
Good morning. You get me today. Dennis is president and his family are in Las Vegas. Vice President Cynthia is traveling in Seoul. So I'm past president, so here I am. Anyway, thank you, Bishop, for the service. Thank you, Miles, for serving as MC, Alan as greeter, Cookie for doing the Kansho, Lisa for playing the piano, and of course, Ryan, as always, recording. And thank you all, the rest of you, for being here. We do have a guest today, and she's sitting in the back row, and her name is Angie Gallagher. Welcome, Angie. Okay, there are a few announcements that I need to make. We have our annual food drive that's going on, and that benefits the Hawaii Food Bank. And of course, at this time, you know, with the federal government cutting back on all those people that can have used their food stamps, so to speak, or supplemental nutritional assistance program, the food bank is being bombarded. So whatever you can donate would be very much appreciated. Okay, second thing, next Sunday is November 1st. It's our first Sunday, and Dennis Toshiro will be leading the service, and I'll be presenting the Dharma message. And it's also birthday Sunday, so all of you with birthdays in November, please be sure to be here. And after refreshments on that day, we're going to have our usual intergenerational activity. So I have a show and tell. Yeah. I came up with more holiday kind of stuff. And so what we're going to make is he kind of cute, huh? So, but look at all what you can choose from. So we'll have the cups. You choose your faith, and you can have a cup for your holidays. If I can come up with something that's related to Thanksgiving, then I'll have something. I didn't want to repeat what I did before, so you're getting an extra December type activity. Let's see if I can make sure. Okay, and let's see, number 3 is, in the back there, covered under the black cloth, is our activity for today. We're going to make 100 Mai movement period kits. For those of you that's not familiar with the Mai movement, we've been doing this, I think this is the 3rd year. Mai is a Hawaiian word for the monthly periods that women have. And several years ago, there were 3 sisters, local sisters, that realized that a lot of the homeless girls weren't going to school because they couldn't afford all these feminine products. Likewise, the homeless women were skipping work. And then, so what they did was they worked with the legislature. Now, even at the UH, there's free products that the women can help themselves. I think every public school now has the girls have free access to these products. It wasn't that way before. And who would have thought, here we are among all these homeless people. So we decided that one of our social concerns project in October would be to provide them with 100 kits that they would then deliver to these women. So in the back, I'll lay out while you're having refreshments an assembly line, and whoever can help, if you can help us pack these 100 kits. And usually I would call the organization to come pick it up. But since we've never met these people, I've asked them that this year if they would come by next Sunday in person to pick it up and hopefully spend some time with our service, or at least meet the Sangha that's working and creating these kits. So that's what we're going to be doing this right after this. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to also share, this year's Pride Parade that celebrates the LGBTQ community was held on Saturday, October 18. I think the parade started in the late afternoon. Usually it's from early morning, and some of us have walked in these parades, and it is hot. But we weren't able, I didn't go this year, but Honpa Hongwanji participates in it every year, and these are some pictures. You see Bishop is walking alongside, they even brought the Kansho along. And, they provide the bus for some people that don't want to walk. So I hope it was much cooler this year. But I'm hoping that next year, some of us can go and participate in that as well to show support. Looks like fun. Did I cover everything? Okay, the other thing I wanted to talk about, for some of you that may not know, at our temple, there's actually 3 groups of volunteers who rotate every 4 Sundays to donate the refreshments that you have after service. The team leaders are Lisa Fujikawa, leads Team A, Dana Arakaki leads Team B, and Meryl Toshiro does Team C. So if any of you want to volunteer in any of the groups, just contact those team leaders. And so for today's refreshment, it's done by Dana's group. Oftentimes the members there leave early, so they never hear the announcement, but we do want to thank all the teams that provide the refreshments. Okay, so before we go off and have refreshments, are there any other announcements that people have? Yes.
We have some Vidumala and Nembutsu. If you need it, everybody will
Roy's Stilton. Okay. Yeah, we're well known for our bitter melon namasu. Okay, otherwise, let's have words of thanksgiving before we leave. The word should be there. We are truly grateful for this wonderful food, a gift of life. May we share these benefits with all beings. As we partake of this food, let us remember Amida Buddha's compassion, which surrounds all people and all forms of life. Namo Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu. Oh, I know what I was going to also say. You know that our temple, we've had, I think 8 people have gone through Honpa Hongwanji's Minister Assistance Program, okay? And of that, 4 or 5 of us were certified by Reverend Bert. And some, I think, have decided they no longer want to do it. But we have 2 new people that just completed their MLA training yesterday, Ed and Makanani. Yay! Okay, let's go eat.